Hey everyone, so this is our emotional eating kind of info session, part 3 or 4, day 3. Anyways, so today we're going to talk about food is fuel, not for therapy. So we've all identified that in some form or another we've experienced emotional eating. So how do we avoid sabotaging ourselves? By finding alternatives and being mindful. In order to stop emotional eating, you have to find other ways to fulfill yourself emotionally. It's not enough to understand the cycle of emotional eating or even understand your triggers, although that's a huge first step. You need alternatives to food that you can turn to for emotional fulfillment. So I think that's where we're all at right now. For those of you who have been in and around with me already, then I think that a lot of you guys are already at that point where you're a little bit more, that you are understanding that you are in this place and that what your triggers are. And so you've taken that huge first step. But right now, we need to, at this point, we want to move forward and find alternatives. And you've all found some alternatives in working out and taking care of yourself, but there's other ways as well. So here are a few alternatives to emotional eating. If you're depressed or lonely, call somebody who also makes you who will make you feel better, right? Call your uncle, call your grandma, call your sister, mother, father. You know, who is it that you turn to that will make you feel better? If you're anxious, squeeze a stress ball or go for a walk. So this is something that I really need to. I wish, here's the thing with me, like I have my kids, and so I'm stressed or anxious usually when I have my kids, so I can't really go for a walk by myself and leave them alone. So I totally get that, like any of you moms out there who can't just drop everything to do this, right? But maybe go for a walk with them. It'll be good for everyone, right? If you're exhausted, treat yourself with a cup of tea, take a bath, light some candles, or curl up with a blanket. So instead of like being exhausted and going on the couch, where that's where you usually will have your chips and popcorn and all that kind of stuff, and lays out, treat yourself to tea or something relaxing, okay? Like a bath or, a book, right? If you're bored, read a good book, watch a comedy show, explore the outdoors, or turn to a hobby that you enjoy, like crafts, scrapbooking, playing the guitar. For me, I like to look at recipes, Pinterest. That distracts me from being bored. Or, I really actually like to pick up a personal development book, which is, for me, a good thing to relieve my anxiety, because for me, I can't just relax. I need to always be learning something. So I think personal development is really key in life. If you don't read personal development books, ask me or ask Brooke or someone who does, because that is like what, I believe more in myself, and I feel that there's so much more to life ever since I've been reading these books. So if you want any suggestions, please let us know. And then take 5 before you give into your craving. So take a moment and think about what state of mind you are in before you give in. Like, think about if you're sad, if you're anxious, if you're lonely, if you're bored. Think about it for 5 minutes before you do anything, before you go for anything. And then you'll scan your body, because then you'll realize if you're actually emotionally hungry or physically hungry. Emotional eating tends to be automatic and virtually mindless. But if you can take a moment to pause and reflect when you're hit with a craving, you give yourself the opportunity to make a different decision. Can you put off eating for 5 minutes? Or just start with 1 minute. Don't tell yourself you can't give into that craving. Remember, the forbidden is extremely tempting. Do you know, like, if somebody tells you can't have it, of course that's all you want, right? So don't tell yourself you can't have it. Just take 5 minutes to think. Just tell yourself to wait, while you're waiting, check in with yourself. How are you feeling? What's going on emotionally? Even if you end up eating what you wanted to eat, you'll have a better understanding of why you did it. This can help you set yourself up for a different response next time. Learn to accept your feelings, even the bad ones. While it may seem that the core problem is that you're powerless over food, emotional eating actually stems from feeling powerless over your emotions. You don't feel capable of dealing with your feelings head on, so you avoid them with food. I'm going to read that again because I think that when I posed that question about feeling powerless against food, I think that there was maybe some confusion as to what that really meant. So I'm going to read that one more time. While it may seem that the core problem is that you're powerless over food, emotional eating actually stems from feeling powerless over your emotions. You don't feel capable of dealing with your feelings head on, so you avoid them with food. Okay? Allowing yourself to feel uncomfortable emotions can be scary. You may fear like Pandora's box. Once you open the door, you won't be able to shut it. But the truth is that when you don't obsess or suppress our emotions, even the most painful and difficult feelings subside relatively quickly and lose their power to control our attention. So I think that's the problem. Like when we are upset about something, it like overpowers our attention, and then because we can't suppress those emotions, we turn to food. To do this, you need to become mindful and learn how to stay connected to your moment-to-moment emotional experience. This can enable you to rein in stress and repair emotional problems that often trigger emotional eating. So the key to this, obviously, is to be mindful. So tomorrow we're going to talk about what mindful eating is, okay? And the last day we'll be talking about the benefits of mindful eating. And hopefully that will wrap everything up and give you a better understanding of what how to stop emotional eating in its path, and how to really move on from it and be mindful. Okay, hopefully you got a little bit out of that, and yeah, I will chat with you soon, and if you have any questions, feel free to comment below. Okay, bye.